and you can do it without worrying about anyone throwing vegetables at you. I tell you what. Alterzim Stronghold will be the map of choice by none of these players. This is going to be a large 4-player map to welcome these players to the semifinals. Deimos from Clan Deimos, FreedomFries, a PrKuLaToR player from Beacon Gaming, the PrKuLaToR, his Zerg opponent. Only one will survive, but no matter what happens, both of these players will have some more chances, as this is the best of 3, which means the first player to 2 wins moves on to the finals. At the top right of Alterzim Stronghold will be from Deimos. Oh, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, and I'm sorry. FreedomFries, Purple Protoss. At the bottom left with the purple creep, as always, will be Beacon Gaming's PrKuLaToR, our Zerg buddy. I'm going to be completely biased here. I'm rooting for PrKuLaToR. I'm going to be completely biased. No offense. We'll see what Deimos wants to throw at him. We'll see what PrKuLaToR wants to throw at his opponent. This is the first game in a best of 3. Which could really mean anything. You know, any of these players could start off with some kind of cheese. Now, this is a 4-player map, and it is a large map, which does put down the chances of proxy tech or of any kind of proxy cheese, as you're gonna have to either you blindly hope that you get the right spot, or you're able to move your workers around to scout the proper location for those units to go in time. And a lot of times that's not going to work out on such a large map. These 2 players are going to be cross spawns. This map, this is going to be, I think, this is going to be one of the last times that you see this map. I think this map is going to be one of the less used maps, as we got more new maps coming in. That scout moving on over here, which will signal a very fast Nexus coming out from FreedomFries. That takes balls of steel, but we are going to have an equally as fast hatch. When both of these players go for really fast, whether it's 16 hatchery, 16 Nexus, the hatchery always goes down a little bit before the Nexus. You can never really get it even. A little bit after, but that's okay. That's healthy. That's natural. Both these players are going to get expansion fast, and right after, FreedomFries doing what could be aggression, what could be playing it safe. Gonna get that pool and that gas shortly thereafter, and here we go with a gateway. It's kind of, you don't really call this a gateway expand, but we do have a gateway. We do have the gateway and a forge going down. We're gonna call this a Nexus first, forge expand, forge fast expand to the 3rd. That's what it could easily turn out. But with this forge going down first means we could get our +1. We could try something kind of similar to what we saw last game. Now, we get these maps every once in a while, where there's actually an expansion connected to the main that is on its own, that cannot be entered any other way other than through the main. And usually these maps are a little wonky because all of the other maps aren't like it. It's kind of like an experiment that keeps happening. Alrighty, well, we got pro production going down for FreedomFries, and we got drone production going down for PrKuLaToR, as he has both of those queens queued up at the exact same time. It's very nice to have these very nice to have these queens on the exact same time, so that we can have confidence that if one queen has a transfuse, we can press our spacebar, hop to our next queen, or press depending on how we inject larvae, we can hop to our next queen with complete confidence that they're gonna also have enough energy to put in that larva. 2 lings out on the map, gonna test the ramp here, and they will be able to see this +1, I do believe here. Moving on up, I'm not sure if FreedomFries is going to see it, but he does go pretty much as far as he can here. And he's got to start being worried here because this +1, it should be used for something here. FreedomFries, we do see he does have some money going on over here, and I would... Oh my gosh. PrKuLaToR actually, with his leg on hold position, I think he actually missed that, and that's going to be really lucky for FreedomFries as this pylon, I believe, is going to be able to get placed down. These overlords getting in position, but with so much distance on this map, just look at the timing of these overlords getting over to his opponent's base. Last game we saw the double overlord scout at around 5 minutes and then a follow-up scout at around 9 minutes. This first overlord scout is going to be pushed back beyond 7 minutes just because of the sheer size of this map. A third expansion going down, and we got a lot of room to cover here. Someone could with a gateway, heavy gateway army, try and just run up this ramp, lock themselves in, and deal the damage, leaving only the third expansion. That would be pretty mean to see. Now the +1 does finish up, and we're really, I guess we'll see a +2 following up, as we do have a second forge well on its way here. It looks like we're getting double upgrades, Twilight in the background as well as a forge, which makes you think we're going to see some blink instead of some DT tech coming out. Ling's moving on forward here to test the ram. This probe is a little out of position, and how many units do we really have on the ground? We don't have any gateway units. We actually don't have a single gateway unit out on the map right now. And this probe, I believe the Lings can squeeze right by these, and the first unit of the day is going to be the Immortal, because gateway units are useless. Useless, FreedomFries says. Maybe sent them free to ire. Alrighty, double upgrades going down for PrKuLaToR as well, but that's not as uncommon as seeing the double forges in PvZ. I know Huck genuinely enjoys the double forges in PvP himself, and we do see this double scout going down. One overlord's going to eat the dust. The other overlord's going to see the full saturation on the natural. He's also going to see a lot of chrono boost going down, or a lot of chrono boost not going down. That wall getting plugged up. Nope, that wall not getting plugged up. The first immortal is out here, and we've got 5 gateways. +1 is going to be 6 gateways and a robotics facility with blink, as well as +1 armor. These things poking don't really have too much more to do other than looking for proxy pylons, and we don't have any watchtowers on this map here. So these lings could be used to full effect, essentially be their own small beacons on the map, beacons of hope. Macro hatch going down on the third. The main and the natural do have their Vespian geysers, and Roach speed is on the way here. These lings doing a fantastic job being able to see if any units do move out, and we do have the third expansion going down. 2 immortals, 3 stalkers do have the job to defend this third expansion. Does go down too fast, does go down at a very conservative time here, and right now FreedomFries is going to bring this into the mid game. We're not going to see an all-in coming out from FreedomFries. FreedomFries is going to depend on 5 gateways and a robotics facility, as well as double forges in the background, churning and churning. He's going to have a surprising upgraded, maybe not advantage, but he's going to have a surprising upgrade count, as we are at +1, +2 right now, that PrKuLaToR may not expect here. Now, without this creep, these roaches aren't going to be as scary, but the upgrade finishing up is going to make them fast. This creep spread makes its way across the map. These roaches don't know it, but a pylon is on its way over there. It's not on its way anymore, as these links take care of the probe. And I think right now FreedomFries is ready to push out. Even though we did take a third expansion, there's going to be no cancel on that third expansion. We can look at this as more of a pressure than an all-in. And a pressure it will be here, as I believe the 2-2 is going to be finishing up real soon. These roaches maneuvering around, and I'm not sure if we're going to see a little bit of sandwich action here. I think that's what we're trying to see as we look on the mini-map here. These units actually moving over to converge here, and an awkward moment here where the roaches engage here, giving it a second thought. Suddenly all the gateway units, a lot of the gateway units are falling, which would have left those immortals very naked, and that recall is going to be able to save that. he's going to be able to save all the robotics facility units. What's actually kind of funny, kind of interesting, very funny, very interesting, is that he recalled to the to his natural, which is pretty much the furthest base away from where the action is going to be, and that's going to be on his third. Roaches and Lings moving on forward here. We did have the double evolution chambers, but they haven't caught up quite yet, as we only have +1 armor for them. 3 cannons are going to be able to warp in on time here. And we're going to see a little bit of pincer attacking going on here. Some nice force fields trying to control this lane, this avenue of attack. And that's going to be enough. PrKuLaToR has done his thing. These extractors are going to be done way before the hatchery and the 4th expansion on its way here. Generally, you do want that 4th expansion around the time of this 3rd expansion. In a standard greedy macro game, that is. This one hasn't been so standard or so greedy. This War Prism, on the other hand, is going to be both standard and risky. It's gonna offer FreedomFries a fantastic avenue of some harassment, especially on the 4th expansion, which is just so far from everything. Also this little nook over here is a fantastic place to drop, right in the back of the natural. Also so far away from everything, but look at all these units we have coming over here. I think we have 3 robotics facilities. I think that's gonna be one too many. But first Colossus now popping out. There won't be thermal lance here, and we have so many units on their way over here. 3 immortals going to be more than enough to keep all these roaches worried for their lives. Fortunately, the Warp Prism goes down. That Warp Prism could have been quite a headache, but it's the Warp Prism. I feel like still kind of doing its job here, as PrKuLaToR not going to engage anytime soon. First Colossus joins, and 2 more Colossus are queued up. The forges being used. This is going to afford FreedomFries for about the most powerful robotics facility attack possible here. 3 robotics facilities churning out units here, and we don't really have anything to deal with the Colossus right now. Of course, what we do want is exactly what PrKuLaToR is going for. It will be a nice little pack of Corruptors here, but it just seems like he's a little behind here. As long as FreedomFries plays defensively, it's kind of PrKuLaToR's job here to make sure he can deal with the Colossus leaning overhead. Keeping a nice spread always, PrKuLaToR. Always keeping a nice spread of units on the map. And we just see him moving back and forth, just working on this 4th expansion. We got a total of 5 hatcheries and 6 gases. And pretty soon we're going to see this game turn into overdrive, but it's FreedomFries' job to punish his opponent before he gets there. These creep tumors making their way across the map will be able to give them a little extra vision. Be able to delay a little bit. Be able to see the positioning of FreedomFries' army before he engages, and we do see this nice little split up. He wants him to go down this avenue right in the middle. As we can see on the Q points, it's not going to go exactly there, but it's getting close. Looking at our supplies here, we're at 119 to 129. The Protoss player actually ahead in supply so far. Yeah, +3, just about finishing up. This is called a timing attack with a +3. And a nice concave going down, but this ground army for FreedomFries isn't evaporating as fast as PrKuLaToR wants them to. We got 3-2 currently, as well as 2-2 for PrKuLaToR's army. 200 supply to 176. FreedomFries needs to make a decision if he wants to push forward, and he's going to go for taking out this 4th. It would be fantastic to have that mothership core with this army. He could literally just snipe it and get out if anything got too crazy. Wouldn't be surprised to see PrKuLaToR getting a little bit of a double expansion. Getting a little double expansion going down on the left side of the map to try and compensate for this loss. Fantastic force fields are going to zone out a lot of these units, and we do have the hit squad of Corruptors trying to take down these Colossus. But as we see, as the battle goes forward, these Corruptors are unable to power down the Colossus in enough time. 1 Colossus goes down, 3 more to survive. 3 Immortals still alive on the ground force, which is going to mean that these roaches coming in here to defend are going to get pummeled down so fast. Backup expansion goes down. The rally working against PrKuLaToR this time. Chica. And with the third going down, we've got Lings. We've got roaches. We've got 2 Hydras, and these Colossus looking just damn near invincible as they are able to survive the onslaught. That's going to be game 1 of this best of 3. We'll be jumping into game 2 in just a moment.